Around about a month ago, I laced up my first pair of Topo Athletic Ultraventures, and it's been a number of years since I'd run in a pair of their trail shoes. So I was really excited to see how far they'd come in terms of design and development over that time. My first run in the Ultraventure 4s went well across the Hayle Towans, and I managed to clock up a good 7.83 miles on a big mixture of different terrain. However, since then, I've clocked up nearly 60 miles in these. So let's dive into the video and find out how the Topo Athletic trail running shoe has performed. So we are back with a full in-depth review, and it's actually been some time since I filmed one of these, so hopefully I'll remember what to do. But thanks for tuning in again, guys. I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure. Now, if it is your first time here at the channel, thanks for clicking on that little thumbnail. Really hope you enjoy the video. And what we normally do with our running shoe full in-depth reviews is give you guys a few stats. We break down the construction in a bit more detail before telling you all about how that shoe has performed over the testing period. And then we wrap the video up with a quick conclusion where I score the shoes out of 30 for price point, comfort and performance, and durability. Right, let's dive into the stats of the Topo Athletic Ultraventure 4. And first up, they are available here in the UK for £150. As far as weight goes, my pair in a UK 9.5 tips the scales at 310 grams. And we have a 5mm heel offset with a stack height of 35mm at the heel and 30mm under the forefoot. And they're available in two different colour options for men and for women. As far as the construction goes, starting at the top, we've got this recycled mesh upper with some strategically placed PU overlays for structure and a bit of extra durability. I would say there's a moderate level of padding in the tongue, around the ankle collar and in the heel cup. And we've got a pretty standard looking lace system, apart from these two little loops that are situated at the top of that gusseted tongue, and they're there just to hold that tongue in place and stop any slippage. And then finishing off, when it comes to the upper, we've got another overlay around the toe box for a bit of upfront protection when you're out running on the trails, and then a nice little handy gaiter attachment on the heel and one down the bottom of the laces. Moving down to the midsole construction, and Topo Athletic have gone for their responsive zip foam for the cushioning, and they've also worked in this quite aggressive sort of rockered geometry. That's been paired up with a pair of their performance insoles and then flipping them over to reveal the Vibram XS Trek Evo rubber outsole with this multi-surface 4mm lug pattern. That's been designed for light to moderate terrain, but also to give you a smooth trail to road transition. When it comes to the sizing and the fit of the Ultraventure 4s, I've found them true to size, like I have done with every Topo Athletic shoe that I've ever run in. Obviously, with the brand making their shoes with this sort of anatomical foot-shaped design, I've had a nice roomy toe box feel with plenty of wiggle room up front. I would say very, very similar to the fit of, say, an Ultra running shoe. And in a nutshell, that is the new Ultraventure 4 from Topo Athletic. So let's break down how the shoes have performed, and the first thing I've got to say is I personally think that the Topo Athletic running shoes have come a long way over the last 3 or 4 years. And you know, with the shoes that I'd previously tested on the channel, they all ran okay, but I never found them that exciting, and I did sometimes feel that the cushioning in the midsole was a little bit flat, and it's a very different story in these. So I've actually found myself reaching for the Ultraventure 4s quite a lot when it comes to my running shoe rotation over the last month or so, and I actually really enjoy the feel and the performance. The zip foam in the midsole has bedded in nicely over the miles, and for me, it's given me just the right balance between comfort out on the trails, ground feel and connection, but also good underfoot protection when I've picked up any sections of rocky or stony trails. I also find the rockered geometry worked into that midsole nice and efficient. And you know, for me, it's just one of those trail shoes that's really easy to run in. So I just lace them up, go out running, and I don't really give the shoe a lot of thought, and I've always found that to be a positive thing when it comes to our running shoes. Overall comfort of the upper has been good, and I haven't had any hot spots, irritation or blisters or anything like that over the miles that I've run in them. And I'm also a big fan of this anatomical foot shape design. Really nice to have all that width in the toe box so your feet can stay nice and relaxed while you're running, but the upper still provides a good secure lockdown around your midfoot and a nice hold in the heel. The only thing I would say is I've got quite a narrow foot shape, so at the start of the run I do have to pull those laces down quite tight just to make sure that my feet feel secure in the upper. But all in all, I've enjoyed the level of comfort that this upper has given me, and personally for me, just the right level of padding in the gusseted tongue around the ankle collar and in the heel. And like I've already mentioned, it just gives me that nice sort of secure, connected feel from the fit of the shoe. And then flipping them over, let's talk all about this Vibram rubber outsole. Now initially I did have my concerns because this isn't Vibram's Mega Grip rubber, and I have had some grip issues in the past with some of their other rubber compounds, but I really shouldn't have worried because this XS Trek Evo rubber has given me good levels of grip when I've been running on rocky or wet rocky trails. Obviously, with the shoes only having a 4mm lug depth, the Ultraventure 4 hasn't really been designed for running in deep, boggy, muddy conditions here in the UK, and there was times where I did struggle for a loss of traction when I did hit sections of mud. I personally think it would be good to see Topo Athletic slightly redesign this lug shape. I don't think it needs to be a lot deeper, I just think they need to make the lugs a bit more aggressive. So at the moment they've got a slight tapered edge, and I think that stops the lugs from digging into the mud and giving you that traction. So I think a little bit of a rethink on that lug design next time round might really help with those traction issues. So you can see it's been a pretty positive experience for me stepping back into a pair of Topo Athletic running shoes after not featuring them on the channel for a good few years. But we've reached that point in the video where we need to get some points on the Run4Adventure board. So let's start scoring, and first up is price. So with the Ultraventure 4 retailing here in the UK for £150, I suppose it's not the cheapest trail running shoe out there, but when you take into consideration the current running shoe market and also the performance I've got over testing and the quality of the shoe, I don't actually think that's a bad price point. So I'm going to score them a 7 out of 10 when it comes to price. Moving on to comfort and performance, and I've actually been impressed with both. So like I've already said, I've just found them a very easy shoe to run in. I lace them up, it fits my foot shape really well, it's plush and comfortable in all the right places, and I don't give it a lot of thought while I'm running. So when it comes to upper comfort, it's definitely ticking all the boxes, as is the midsole. The zip foam in the midsole has offered me a comfortable ride on all the different types of terrain, whether that's been stony trails, gravel paths, or sections of tarmac. It's soaked it all up with ease, and I think Topo Athletic have got the level of cushioning just right. So it's felt very comfortable, but not overly soft. So the Ultraventure 4 has still felt nice and secure and nice and stable and connected when I've picked up any sections of more technical trail. And for all those above reasons, the shoe is going to score quite high when it comes to comfort and performance, so I'm going to give them a solid 8 out of 10. And then last but definitely not least, we've got to talk about durability, and obviously this is a tricky thing to score after running just shy of 60 miles in them, but early signs are good. You know, there's no peel on any of the overlays on the upper, this recycled mesh is holding up well, there's no damage to it, and I've got pretty much zero wear on this Vibram rubber outsole. But also you guys have been getting in the comments telling me how well your Topo Athletic shoes are holding up to the miles, so this looks like a pretty well put together trail running shoe, so we should get some good mileage out of it. So for those reasons, it's going to score pretty high again, and the Ultraventure 4 for durability is going to come in with another 8 out of 10. So tallying up all those points, they're actually going to come out with a very respectable 23 out of 30 here at Run4Adventure. Now, we don't like to score looks here at the channel, but we definitely like to talk about it. And I personally think that this is something that maybe the Topo Athletic brand has struggled with in the past, with some of their previous shoes looking a little bit boring and, dare I say it, a bit dad shoe-like. But I actually really like the looks of the new Ultraventure 4, especially in this Miami blue and orange colorway. So they get a big thumbs up from me when it comes down to looks. I always like to give you guys a few comparisons, so other shoes that are going to feel, fit and perform very similar to these. The first one is the New Balance Hierro V8. So again, I find that another trail running shoe that's just super easy to run in, and I think both shoes cross over really well between that sort of light to moderate trail and sections of road. However, you are going to get a fair bit more width in the toe box of the Ultraventure 4. So if that's something that you like, then these are definitely the one to go for. And obviously I'm going to compare them to an Ultra shoe. So I think they're very similar to the Timp. They both use that anatomical foot shape design, so they're both going to offer you nice wiggle room in the toe box. However, just a word of warning, the Ultra shoe is a zero drop, so it doesn't have an heel offset, which some runners don't get on with, whereas the Ultraventure 4 comes with that 5mm drop. So wrapping up with a quick conclusion, and if you're in the market for a well-cushioned trail running shoe that's going to cross over to a big mix of terrain in those drier months, whether it be gravel paths, compacted trails or sections of road, and maybe you've got a bit of width to your foot shape, or you just like a nice roomy, airy toe box feel, then I personally think that the Ultraventure 4s are definitely worth a closer look. I've actually found them online for £135, so that's a pretty big saving from the original RRP, and for that type of money, I think it's a pretty good trail running option. And on that note, it brings today's review video to an end. Really hope you've enjoyed it. Really hope you found it helpful. Don't forget, if you have, to like, comment and subscribe, as it is a really big help to the channel. And it only takes a couple of seconds to do just by clicking on that little red box down there in the corner. While you're there, don't forget to hit that bell icon, because then you'll be notified when we upload any new running content. If you'd like to support the channel further, we've got some cool merchandise available at Run4Adventure.uk, including lots of colourful, bright, soft cotton tees. We've got beanies, we've got camping mugs, technical running caps, and a good selection of bright, colourful, super handy multi-wraps, plus lots more. So again, I'll leave a link for our website in the description below so you can check it out in a bit more detail. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. It's really appreciated. We'll be back with some more interesting running content very soon. And as always, stay safe and keep on running. So let's start off with a few stats first, all about the Topo Athletic Ultraventure 4s. So they're actually available here in the UK for £100. Two little loops at the top of the tongue where the laces pass through, and that's been put in place just to make sure that that's stung. Obviously, with it only having a 4mm lug depth, the Ultraventure 4 hasn't really been designed to run in deep, boggy, joggy.